Hello everyone, so welcome to you all for your second year course. I hope everyone is fine. So in your second year course, you are going to learn a mathematics subject is called complex variables and transformations. So now before going to get into the topic, so let me introduce myself. So my name is Dr. N. Srinivas Rao. I did a PhD in NIT Surathkal, it is in Karnataka, and assistant professor in the division of mathematics. So if you have any doubts, you just contact me this number or you can get into this mail. Okay. So now we will going to learn a mathematics course is called complex variables and transformations. Now the question is, so why you have to learn mathematics course? Is it really necessary? So the answer is yes. So without this course, so you cannot complete your second year. So that is the reason why you have to learn this course. And in this course we have 5 units. So the first unit is jet transformations. So that is the reason why we have introduced in your second year, first year, second semester. So one topic is called Laplace transformations. So what is that? Laplace transforms. Okay, so now we are going to study what are the jet transformations. So now, is it necessarily to learn all these transformations for the ECE people means? Yes. Why? Because these transformations you are going to apply in the signal processing or in the signal system. So that is the reason why we have introduced in your second semester Laplace transforms. Now you are going to learn jet transforms, and in the next unit also it is Fourier transformation. So all these transformations you should learn in order to complete your second year. Okay, so what are the transformations we have is, first already you learn Laplace transform, now jet transform, then Fourier transforms. Okay, so now where we are using these transformations is in signal processing. So for example, so if you look at this picture, there are different types of signals. So this is one type of signal and this is another type of signal, and these two are another type of signals. Okay, so now, so look at this. So this is called stable signal system. So why it is stable is, when time goes on increasing, so the oscillations are decreasing. After a certain point, so it is going to be stable. Look at the another slide. This is unstable signal system. So why it is unstable is, when time goes on increasing, so but this oscillation is also going to be increased, so therefore it cannot be stable. So that is the reason why we call it as unstable signal system. So okay, so these are the examples of a stable signal system. This is an example of unstable signal system. So I have told you already. So where you are using these transformations is to going to estimate the signal systems or signal processing. Okay, so look at the next figure. So this is called discrete time signal. So what is the meaning of discrete is? So the importance of discrete is, so discrete means it is discontinuous. So when you look at this figure, so there are signals with different levels. It is not continuous, it is discontinuous. That is the reason why we are telling it as discrete time signal. At each time the signal levels are very different and it is discrete. Okay, so now if you look at this, so here n equal to 0, n equal to 1, n equal to 2 and so on. Similarly it is -1, -2 and so on. So how we are going to denote it is, let it be xn, where n belongs to z. So this is called, where what is z? So z is integers. Okay, so now, so this is called discrete time signal. So similarly, look at the another picture. So this is a graphical representation of audio signal. So at each point or the signal levels will be different. Okay, so why you are going to use transformation? So now this is the conclusion. So why jet transforms? Now the first one is to analyze the signal systems. That is the first thing. Second one is to identify whether the signal system are stable or unstable. So for this context we are using Z transform. So not only Z transforms, all the Laplace transform, Z transform and Fourier transforms. Okay, so for example you just look at it. So here one more important point is, so Laplace transforms are applicable to functions. So if you remember in your second semester where we are using Laplace transform, for what we are using is, so L of f of t equals to, I am writing here, Laplace transform definition is integral 0 to infinite, so e power minus st f of t dt. If you remember this is a definition of a Laplace transform. So Laplace transform applicable to functions. Now whereas Z transforms are not applicable to functions, there is another concept is called sequence. So everybody familiar with the term what is a sequence? Okay, so I am telling you, so what is a sequence is? Sequence is denoted by, so un, so where n belongs to z. So what is z here? Set of integers. That means if you n runs, what you will get? If you n runs negatives, it is u minus 2, u minus 1, u naught, u1, u2 and so on. So this is called a sequence. So in this sequence we are denoted as un, where n runs from integers, n belongs to z, where z denotes integers, and so on, u minus 2, minus 1, u naught, u1, u2 and so on. Okay, so this is a sequence. So now Z transforms are applicable to sequences, not to the functions, whereas Laplace transforms are applied to the functions. Now whereas Z transforms are applied to the sequence. Okay, so now you look at this example. For example, I have taken a sequence. This is a xn. The sequence contains only 4 elements, minus 2, minus 3, minus 1, 4. And this is another sequence, we call it as a constant sequence. Why it is a constant sequence is 1, 1, 1. So all the terms are same, so therefore we call it as a constant sequence. But in terms of signal processing, we call it as non-oscillating signal. So non-oscillating signal means the signal cannot be oscillated, it is stable, or can we say that it is a constant. Now the moment you just remember this is a definition of a Z transform. So Z transform is denoted by capital Z. It is applicable to the sequence xn. I have told you already, Laplace transforms are applicable to functions, and whereas Z transforms are applicable to sequences. So the definition of Z transform is sigma n equals to 0 to infinite xn into z to the power minus n. So here everybody remember this, what mathematically sigma represents, it is a summation where you have to replace the sequence and that is multiplied with the z to the power minus n, and of course the output is f of z. Okay, so now everybody remember here, so what is our Laplace transform is integral 0 to infinite, so e power minus st f of t dt, and the output is in terms of s. Okay, so where t is a time, in terms of signal systems where t represents a time and s is a complex number. Okay, so this is x is a complex number. Now similarly here, so if the Laplace transform output is in terms of s, similarly the Z transform output is in terms of z. So that you remember. Now, so how to calculate this one? For example, if you compute Z transform to the signal x and to the signal z, what you will get is, so what that according to definition, what it is? Summation plus multiplication. So you just multiply then submit. So 2 into, so if you compute the Z transform of this signal x and signal z, what you will get is, so 2 into 1 minus 3 into 1 and minus 1 into 1 plus 4 into 1. So if you calculate this summation, what you will get is 2. So here 2 is called the correlation of the signal. So understand, just the moment you just remember this, I will explain it later what is the Z transform definition. Okay, so now you just look at this. This correlation measures the similarity between the two signals. So why you have to find the correlation of the signal means we have to measure the similarity between the two signals. Okay, so this is the introduction of a Z transform. Okay, so remember everyone, why you have to use all the transformation is to estimate the signal whether this is stable or unstable and to analyze the signal system. So without the transformations you cannot proceed with your second year. Okay, so that is the reason why we introduced Z transforms here. So now this is the introduction. So now we will move on to what are the course outcomes. So next one is course outcomes. So what are the course outcomes means at the end of the course what the student will learn. So that we call it as course outcomes. So if you learn this unit Z transforms, at the end of the unit what you are going to learn. So that we call it as course outcomes. The first one is first understand the definition of a Z transform. Next one is understand the linear properties, damping rules and shifting rules of the Z transform. And next one is find the Z transform multiplied by n and division by n, and moreover initial and final value theorems. And the next concept is find the inverse Z transforms and convolution theorem to find Z transform. And finally we are going to solve the difference equations. Okay, so now these are the course outcomes for the first unit. So if you once your unit is finished, so you can able to find all those after that the end of the unit. Okay, so these are the course outcomes. Now we will start with the definition of a Z transform. So I have told you already, so Z transforms are applied on sequences. I have told you already, this is a sequence Xn. Okay, so whether it is a real or complex numbers, so the Z transform of a sequence Xn is denoted by Z of Xn, and it is defined by, so how we are going to define Z of Xn is summation n equal to 0 to infinite. So we are not going to negative terms. So this is defined as n equal to 0 to infinite Xn into Z to the power minus n. I told you already, so output is in terms of Z. So for example, if you take this is all un, so what will you, how you are going to look like the sequence is n you have to runs from 0 to infinite. So if n equal to 0 it is u0, if n equals to 1 it is u1, if n equals to 2 it is u2 and so on. So this is a sequence look like. Okay, so now what you have to do is you just multiply Xn with Z to the power minus n. So if you take Z to the power minus n, if n runs, what you will get? So if n runs, what you will get? So Z to the power minus 0 and Z to the power minus 1 and Z to the power minus 2 and so on. Okay, so this is a sequence un. When n runs from 0 to infinite, you will get like this. When Z into Z to the power minus n, so when n runs, what is Z to the power minus 0, Z to the power minus 1, Z to the power minus 2 and so on. So finally what you have to do is you just multiply those two and you have to add finally. So this gives the Z transform of a given sequence un. So for example, if you look at, so I will tell some of the examples of a sequence. So let un equals to, so let it be 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. So this is one sequence with, this is a u0 term. So first term, why it is u0? Since we have run n from 0 to infinite. So that is the reason why it is u0. So this is a u1 term and this is a u2 term and this is u3 term and so on. Okay, so when the sequence is given, so this way you have to find what is u0, what is u1, what is u2 and what is u3. So for example, if you take another sequence vn, so let it be -1, 0, 1, 0 at 2 and so on. Now what is the first term u0? So this is a u0 and this is a term u1 and this is a term u2 and this is a term u3 and so on. Okay, this way you have to find when the sequence is given. This way you have to find what is the u0 in the sequence, what is u1 in the sequence and so on. Okay, so now look at this one, how graphically represents this Z transform. Okay, so now here if you understand how we are going to denote, so multiply and then addition. So to suppose if you input some terms xn, what it will give is add some terms and multiply with z to the power minus n and multiply with z to the power minus 1 and it will give the output. Okay, so therefore this way you have to represent the definition of a Z transform. So simply remember here multiply and then add all those. Here remember n runs from 0 to infinite. Okay, so this is the definition of a Z transform. So now we are going to look at some of the examples. How we are going to find a sequence of Z transform of a given sequence. Okay, so look at this example 1. Okay, so in general we denote the sequence by un, so that everybody knows. Okay, so general this is a sequence denoted by un. So now look at the example 1. So what is the sequence here? So this is what is the sequence here is un and it is defined as k comma k comma k. So it is a constant sequence. All the terms are similar. So here, okay, so this is a sequence. So when you find a sequence, what is a u0? So this is a u0 and this is u1 and this is u2 and this is u3 and so on. Okay, so this is a sequence as given. Now you have to find Z transform of this sequence. Okay, so this is called constant sequence. Why it is a constant sequence? In the sequence all the terms are same, so therefore it is called a constant sequence. Okay, so now look at how we are going to find Z transform of this sequence. Okay, so now look at how we are going to find Z transform of this is. So now you apply the definition of a Z transform. So Z of un equals to sigma n equal to 0 to infinite un into z to the power minus n. So now look at n runs. So where the n runs? So here also n is there and here also n is there. So therefore you have to run n at a time. So if you substitute n equal to 0, what you will get? u0 into z to the power minus 0 plus why it is a plus it is a summation. So since it is a summation, we have to add all those. Now substitute n equals to 1. So this is a term corresponding to n equal to 0. This is a term corresponding to n equal to 1. This is a term corresponding n equal to 2. And this is a term corresponding to n equal to 3 and so on. Okay, so u0 z to the power minus 0, u1 z to the power minus 1 plus u2 z to the power minus 2 plus u3 z to the power minus 3 and so on. Okay, so now if you look at this, so now substitute what is u0, what is u1, what is u2, what is u3. I have told you already, so this is the first term u0. So u0 first term means not u1. So why? Because it is u0 since n runs from 0 to infinite. So therefore our first term is u0 and this is a u1 and this is u2 and this is u3 and so on. So now substitute all the terms. What is u0? u0 is k. Now what is u1? u1 also k and substitute u2 value. What is u2? u2 also k and substitute u3. What is a u3? u3 also k and so on. So now if you observe this summation, all in everywhere k term is a common. So here it is a k, so therefore what I have did is I have taken k as a common. So once you have take the k is common, what you will get is 1 plus 1 by z plus 1 by z square plus 1 by z cube plus and so on. Okay, so now Now what you have to do is you have to find what is this summation. So that is our target. Okay, so not only here, if you find any Z transformation, so you should know the knowledge about the sum of the series, whether it is arithmetic progression, whether it is a geometric progression. So you should know what is the sum of this infinite series. Okay, so now if you can you tell me what we have to replace? 1 plus 1 by z plus 1 by z square plus 1 by z cube. So for that what I have did is, so look at this. So if you look at this, so 1 minus x whole power minus 1 expansion. So I have told you in the, some of you already know this, but in say your second semester I have told you some of the expressions. 1 minus x whole power minus 1 expansion. So what is this? 1 plus x square plus x cube and so on. Okay. So if you observe these two series, what is the similarity? So this is also 1, this is also 1, but in the place of x what it is there? 1 by z. So this is x, this is 1 by z. This is x square, 1 by z square, x cube, 1 by z cube. So only thing what you have to do is, so k into the, in terms of whole thing what you are going to do is, you just substitute 1 minus 1 by z whole power minus 1. So why? Because this is the expansion for 1 plus x square is 1 minus x whole power minus 1. So therefore in the place of this I have substituted 1 minus, in the place of x it is 1 by z. So therefore 1 minus 1 by z whole power minus 1. If you simplify this, what you will get is k by 1 minus 1 by z. If you simplify, you will get k z by z minus 1. So therefore this is the final answer for the sequence of a z transform. So if the what is the z transform of un is, so this is the answer. So z transform of un is okay z by z minus 1. Okay. So now here you can from this we can deduce some of the sequences. So k equals to 1, what you will get if you substitute here? So z by z minus 1. Okay, so that means what is a k equals to 1? So if you substitute k equals to 1, what you will get is, this is a sequence you will get 1 comma 1 comma 1 and so on. Okay, this is our sequence. Suppose if you substitute k equals to 2, what you will get? So 2z by z minus 1. So in that case, what is a sequence? Suppose if you substitute k equals to 2, what is the sequence here? So 2 comma 2 comma 2 comma 2. Okay, so now in general this is, so the sequence is k comma k comma k, so therefore the z transform is kz by z minus 1. If you substitute k equals to 1, you will get z by z minus 1. Suppose if you substitute k equals to 2 here, you will get 2z by z minus 1. Okay, so this way you have to find the z transform of a given sequence. So now we are moving to the next example. Okay, so this is example for the first one. Now we are going to move on next example. Okay, so now look at the series or sequence. So how it is defined? If n greater than or equal to 0, is n greater than or equals to 0, how it is defined? It is 1. If n less than 0, it is defined as 0. That means if all is 0 with positive terms, all it is 1. So suppose if you write in the sequence, it is like this. So all the negative terms. Here in definition of a z transform, we have started with n equal to 0, but it is defined something else. He has given n less than also. So all the left hand time steps are zeros, and n starting with 0 and more than 0, it is 1. So that means 1 comma 1 comma 1. So this is a sequence he has given. These are all negative terms, and this is a u0, and these are all positive terms. Okay, this way it is defined. Okay, so now you have to find z transform of this sequence. Okay, so now if you consider what is the sequence is given from minus infinity to plus infinity. So it covers, n covers all negatives, 0 and positive integer also. So how we are going to write? U minus 3, U minus 2, U minus 1. So these are all negative terms, and this is a u naught, and these are all positive terms. So this is a negative terms, and these are all positive terms. Now for all the negative terms, how it is defined? If n less than 0, it is defined as 0. All the negative terms, it is defined as 0. And if it is a 0 and positive also, it is defined as 1. Okay, so now what you have to do is, now find Z transform for this. According to definition, how we are going to write? Sigma. So how we are going to write? So this is sigma. Sigma means summation, and un z to the power minus n. So now n vary, and if n varies, so this is the negative terms, u minus 3 z power 3. So of course should negative terms, and u minus 2 z square, this is u minus 1 z to the power 1. And if you substitute n equal to 0, u naught z to the power minus 0, u1 z to the power minus 1, u2 z to the power minus 2, and so on. Now you have to substitute what is u minus 3, u minus 2, u minus 1, u naught, u1, u2, and u3. Now it is given already u minus 3 is 0, this is u minus 3, this is u minus 2, this is u minus 1, and this is u naught, and this is u1, and so on. Now substitute all the values here, you will get 0, and here also 0, and here also 0. This is u naught, and this is u1, this is u2, and this is u3. So now if you simplify all these, you will get 1 plus 1 by z plus 1 by z square plus 1 by z cube plus so on. Now what you have to do is, now how you are going to simplify this expression? This is an infinite series. I have told you already what is the expansion for this. 1 minus x whole power minus 1 expansion is 1 plus x plus x square plus so on. Now if you substitute, this is like same 1 plus, but in the place of, this is 1 plus, in the place of x it is 1 by z, in the place of x square it is 1 by z square. So therefore what you have to write is 1 minus, in the place of x it is 1 by z, so therefore this is 1 minus z whole power minus 1 expansion. Okay, so now, so this is 1 minus 1 by z whole power minus 1 expansion. Okay, so this way you have to find the z transform of this sequence. So the final answer is z by z minus 1. Okay, so this is a z transform for the given sequence. So now, so this is the final answer. So z by z minus 1. Okay, so now look at the another example. So we are going to take, so let un is a power n. How we are going to find the z transform of the given sequence? So now this is a sequence, it is given a power n. So how it look like? A power n sequence, how it is look like? So this is a sequence n. So in the sequence you have to write it in the flower brackets. Okay, so always. So if n equal to 0, how it is? A power 0, a power 1, a power 2, a power 3, and so on. So this is a sequence he has given. Understand? So un equal to a power n means this is a sequence. A power 0, a power 1, a power 2, a power 3, and so on. Okay, so now how to find z transform for this sequence? So now this is a definition he has given. So z of an equals to sigma n equal to 0 to infinite a power n into z to the power minus n. Here remember, in general we are finding n runs from 0 to infinite. Suppose in the question itself it is given minus negative terms also, then you have to add, like previous example. The second example what it is given? He has given negative terms, positive terms, 0 terms also. Okay, so in that case you have to find all the summation. So but generally what you are going to do is, the n always runs from 0 to infinite. So that means n belongs to z plus and 0 also. Okay, so now what is a z transform for this sequence? So now this is equals to sigma n equal to 0 to infinite. So this is a un. So what is un is a power n So a power n into, so this is a power n into 1 z to the power minus n can be written as 1 by z to the power n. So this is z to the power n can be written as 1 by z to the power n. So a by z whole power n. Now can you tell me what is this sigma n equal to 0 to infinite? What is x power n tells? If you run n equal to 0 to n, what it will use? 1 plus x square plus x cube plus so on. Okay, so now what you will get here? So but only here, this is a sigma n equal to 0 to infinite. So this is a by z whole power n. So this is a by z whole power n. So if you compare these two, what you have in the place of x, it is a by z. So what is the formula for this? This is already I have told you in the previous slide. This is 1 minus x whole power minus 1. In the previous slide itself, I have explained this sum gives the 1 minus x whole power minus 1. So therefore this is 1 minus a by z whole power minus 1. Okay, so everybody have just tried to learn all the infinite sequence formulas. So that means what you have to just remember everyone, 1 plus x whole power minus 1 expansion. Okay, so 1 minus x whole power minus 1 expansion. And in a similar way, what is a e power x expansion? You just try to learn all these three. Okay, so everybody familiar with this, but once again you just refer it so that you can understand it is very easily. Okay, so now what is the z transform? I have told you already, 1 minus a by z whole power minus 1. So this is an expansion. I have to again and again I am telling every time. So this is a 1 minus x whole power minus 1, and this can be written as sigma n equal to 0 to infinite x to the power n. Okay, so therefore, so 1 minus a by z can be written as 1 by 1 minus a by z. If you further simplify this, you will get so z by z minus a. Okay, so this is the answer for the sequence a power n. Okay, so the z transform of a power n is z by z minus a. So okay, so you have to remember all this. So in the first example, what you have did is, so z transform of k is, so a z by, so k z by, so first example is z transform of a constant k. So if you remember what is the answer, so k z by z minus 1. Okay, in the second example means indirectly it is a z transform of 1. So in the place of k, if you substitute 1, what you will get is z by z minus 1. So this is the first example and this is the second example. Understand, in the second example indirectly the sequence is constant sequence. Okay, so now in the third example what you learn is the z transform of a power n. So z transform of a power n is z by z minus a. So far we have discussed these three examples. Okay, so everybody, so you have to remember always, why? Because we are using the previous examples frequently in the coming examples. Okay, so now, so look at the another example.